Hello, guys, and welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Podcast. Today, we're talking about what it actually means to work hard. Guys, we hear many people actually saying, being in business for you to, as an entrepreneur, maybe you're an entrepreneur yourself. And don't matter which business, it's just not only on my industry, but any business. You hear the word that you have to work hard. You have to work hard. But only a selected few people know what that actually means, what actually means to work hard. When people say, for you to be in business, you have to really work hard for you to really grow and pass your competition. But only a few people that say that actually understand the true meaning of work hard. These people may think that working hard is you working outdoors physically, or you're getting stressed. When you're getting stressed out in a company, meaning you're doing a lot, that means that you're working hard. That's not what it means, guys. Work hard means working every time. That's what it actually, in business, if you want to dominate your field, work hard means every time. Wherever you go, you're promoting your business. You're thinking about opportunities. Wherever you are, you're thinking, okay, where can I use... You see people around, that means you see opportunity. You're in a place eating dinner with your friends, or doesn't matter where you are, and you're thinking, where can I place my business card here? How can I get a client? And as you're thinking that, as you're seeing opportunities everywhere you are, you're thinking of ideas. You're thinking of ideas for the next day. Sometimes you're eating dinner, having fun, quote unquote, with your friends, just having a regular time in the eyes of most people, but inside your mind, you're thinking of ideas and thinking of how you can implement that the next day to your business. This is what working hard means. Sometimes when you're out eating lunch or having fun, quote unquote, with your friends, and you're thinking of something business related because your mind is so obsessively thinking about business growth every time. That's what working hard means, even though you're not physically working at that time. And this is what it means to work every time. Stay with the introduction, guys. I'm gonna go over, if you're an entrepreneur, business owner, I'm sure you're gonna like this podcast. If you relate to what I'm talking about, and if you feel like this is your state of mind right now, if that's how you're feeling right now with this state of mind of obsessively, and you feel like, okay, I'm really working hard here, please reach out to me. Reach out to me on Instagram, Facebook, under Andre Mezalira or the company name, and let's talk. Stay with the intro. I'll be right back.
Welcome to the Wings Mobile Detailing Business and Automotive Podcast, the only podcast that will guide you on how to start and grow six-figure companies. As our team expand from one business location to worldwide domination, you will get step-by-step insights from a millennial franchisor and franchise owner with your host, Andre Mezalira.
Guys, for a lot of people, they start off a business super excited for maybe a few years, a few short years. For some, it's just a few months, and for others, just a few days, where they are in that initial hype of starting a business or whatever they are doing, starting something. And they get into an initial hype that they want to do everything, that they're going to work hard, and they feel motivated. You know that chicken flight that I covered before in this podcast? I use this term, chicken flight. When you know how chickens fly, they just pretty much jump and fall right back over after, they can jump over like 3 feet and try to fly, but they never do, and they fall over, right there in a short distance. These are the people who get excitement, not long-term excitement, not long-term obsessive focus for their business. And you can't consider these people as working hard. I've seen many times, guys, when I was starting my business at the beginning, and even afterwards, even after years, as always, I was everywhere I would go, as I used that example in this podcast, I would think business, I would think growth, I would think opportunities, I would be happy and excited every moment. Because I would see everywhere there was opportunity, I was working when when people would look at me, they would feel like I'm not working. But I know at that time I was working because my mind was somewhere else. A lot of people could actually tell that I wasn't there. And guys, when you're in this state of mind, competition doesn't exist to you. It may be there, but it's in a different. You're not worried about it, because when you're in such level of focus, you're not worried about other people. Not only because you're not thinking of them, because you're so focused and you have so much going on, so many ideas that you want to implement to yourself, that you have no time. Like, you literally would not allow time in your mind to think about the competitors. You might, to try to see, okay, what are they doing? How can I work with them? You don't even see them as a competitor. You see them as like, okay, they're in the same field as you are. That's awesome. But it would be hard to find people in the same focus level as you are in. So the worry of seeing people as competitors were not there, because first, you'd be excited for them, and second, you would not be worried that they would do better than you and pass you. Why? That's because you're confident. And when you're confident, you're not worried about, okay, this guy's going to pass me, and you see them as a competitor. You see them as a friend of yours. Maybe you root for them. You root that they grow with you, because you're confident in yourself. You're confident that no matter what your environment, what people around you is doing, it doesn't matter. You know you're going to grow. You have that in your mind. Obviously, you come through doubts every day. Am I doing the right thing? Oh, is this the right action to take? Man, is this ever going to work out? Is this idea ever going to work out? Obviously, you're going to have doubts. Nobody is 100% confident. Some people seem like they are, but trust me, nobody is. But you're not worried. You're not worried that they are going to pass you. You don't see them as a competitor. The moment that you start seeing people as a competitor and you start worrying, that's the moment that you're not doing enough. The moment that you see a competitors of yours doing something that you're like, oh, man, this guy, I feel like this guy's working harder than I am. I feel like this guy is putting more action into growth, and they're actually, consequently, they're going to even pass me, or if they haven't already. And then you start looking through other people who does the same thing, but with the different eyes. If you're not doing enough, guys, if you're just taking average action, regular, not obsessive action to your business, not working hard. If you're not working hard the way I told you what working hard really means, if you're not doing that, you're going to start looking at people as competitors, and you might as well start hating on them. If you get to this point, guys, get back on track real quick, because time is of the essence. Time flies. And if you get to the point where you're looking at competitors and you start hating on them, on their actions now, be like, oh, they're not doing this. I don't like the way they sound. I don't like the way they're promoting this. I don't like the way you're hating on their marketing. So they're doing everything. They're being everywhere. Remember the podcast, being everywhere all the time at the same time. You want to try to get an omnipresent brand, and perhaps your competitor, as you see as a competitor, maybe he is doing that, and you start to worry. What is that telling you when you worry about somebody who's taking massive action, and then you're hating on them as if, what, they're not doing the right thing? If they're promoting in any way, they're doing the right thing for their business. If you're looking at their business as they are promoting and you're hating on them, you're the one not doing the right thing, because you're wasting your time looking at what other people is doing wrong, and most likely they're better off than you. So watch out. Watch out if you start hating on the way they promote their business, because they're promoting and you're hating. Get back on track. If you realize that, if you're self-aware to realize that, that's already a great point. But you're in a dangerous place. You're in a dangerous place because you've already gotten off of that obsessive action, that working hard, the way that you would work hard before. If you got to this point, perhaps you're not working hard anymore. And for you to get back to that, it's tough, but you've got to. If you got to, because this is what you love, this is what you like to do. And if you think back of it, remember how many days of thrilling, how fulfilling that was. How fulfilling that was for you to not even have to worry about competition. That wasn't even in your mind, the worried. People who worry about their competitors are people who are not confident in the actions they're taking right now. And you have to be off of that trend. Because then these same people that you're hating on, they're going to eat you alive. That's how business is. And time flies. Time flies even faster when you're taking average action. Time flies even faster when you're taking average action. If you're taking massive action, obsessive action, the time's going to go slower for you. You're going to be able to do more things. Literally, because you're going to use more of your time. So technically, you're going to have more time than the people who are hating. So don't cut short on your time. Quit hating and start working right now. And let me tell you the difference between somebody who takes massive obsessively and work hard, takes obsessive action, versus somebody who takes the necessary action to keep going. They might just keep going, but the other ones are going to destroy you. Unfortunately, that's how business is. You take massive action or you free fall. You're either growing, really, really growing, or you're free falling. There's no in between. There's no midway line. If you're just midway, if you're just taking necessary action, inflation itself is going to put you down in a matter of years, if not months. And the difference between you taking the necessary action to keep going versus massive actions is the way that you think. Is the way that if you're working a day, if you're working hard, and you're going to know when you're doing it. If you feel like, oh, I worked hard today. I kind of feel accomplished because I know I did a lot. I put fires down. And I was able to stop at 6 p.m. and, take a time for myself without thinking of business. I went to a place to eat dinner, and I wasn't thinking about business, about promoting, about opportunity. I wasn't thinking about it because I already worked until 6. I worked hard until 6. And I did that same thing yesterday, the day before, for a few weeks maybe. If you're thinking that if that's how you're carrying your day, you're the one taking only the necessary action to keep going. That is the difference. You're not working hard. If you stop working from the moment the clock hits 6 p.m. and you feel like you have the rest of the time free, if you're in this position where you think that working hard as a business owner is when you work hard until 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and then you're free afterwards, you're free to not think about business anymore, and while in business, and if you're doing that, you're signing your death sentence. Guys, Tim Grover wrote a book called Relentless. And if you're in this state of mind and you were worried listening to this podcast, no matter what you do, and if you feel like you're in this dark hole, then I would recommend this guy, Tim Grover. He wrote a book called Relentless. He talks about cleaners. The difference between closers. I can't quite remember right now, but what it takes to be a cleaner. And guys, I can relate this podcast to this book so much. Tim Grover, a tough guy, really does not sugarcoat anything. I would just recommend you guys to check out this book from Tim Grover called Relentless. He recently wrote another one called Winners, but start off with the Relentless. That is a book for you. That is a book for you to really understand. First, you want to understand what taking action is, what that means, how to take action. Those are Grant Cardone's book, 10X, and books like that. But for you to be a cleaner, for you to work hard, for you to see the value of work, for you to understand that in business, if you're not growing obsessively, you're just free falling. For you to understand that, get this book from Tim Grover, and he's going to explain to you what being a cleaner is. I definitely recommend it. This is what I consider my steps, the steps that works for me. But I relate these steps that I take as working hard. These are your day-to-day, just as I explained. You're out in the dinner in a restaurant, and you get a business card off of your pocket if you're having a business, and you leave the business card on top of the table. You go to anywhere you go to play golf. That's an example of mine. And you take some actions of promoting there. You think of ideas, and I thought of many ideas as I thought before. One of the great ideas that I've thought and it worked really well. You can instantly leverage somebody else's business while helping them, but at the same time, all the people who are checking their business out, they're seeing your logo, they're seeing your business. Thousands of people looking at your business while they access on Google the business you're in. So let's say you go to play golf, or you go to a restaurant, and you want all those people who found a restaurant through Google to also see your business, or at least a huge majority percentage of those people. You want them to see your business. There's a trick that I used to do, and I've explained to you before in this podcast, but I'm going to be very brief on here because this is a golden business idea that works out, and you will know it works. If you go, guys, to, let me use an example as a restaurant, and you like their food, be genuine. And a lot of times, how did you find a restaurant? You want to eat somewhere nice. And what do? You go to Google, you type the restaurant, or you look for restaurant around, and you want to see the plates. Where do you see? Google Photos. That's how you see the plates. You go to a golf course, and you want to play golf. And you want to see the field first. That's what you want to do. You go to Google, type the golf course, and you start seeing the pictures there. What if your picture were there? What if a picture of your logo was there in that company's Google Photos that you see? Guys, whose photo do you see in that business? You see photos that customer posted. So you can very well enjoy the golf course. If you really enjoy it, genuinely enjoy it, take picture of the course, or take picture of the plate that you're eating on a restaurant, and simply put your logo there. Guys, on the picture that you took, that you're helping the business out that you are, because they're the next person that types in the golf course, that the same thing that you did, they want to see the field, and they're going to see a picture of the field, but a picture that you posted of the field, be like, oh, nice, but there's a logo there of your business. I never given this idea away, guys. This is the first time. But I wanted to implement in this podcast and actually kindly ask you guys to please subscribe. I have much more business and auto detailing podcast to do, and I'm sure it's very helpful. Now, this is what hard work means. Everywhere you are, you think of ideas, you implement them. You go somewhere thinking of how you can implement how you can grow your business while being somewhere that it's perhaps just for fun. Guys, this is what working hard means. Everywhere you are, you're thinking, oh, now I'm hungry. I need to eat somewhere. Would I rather eat at home or eat somewhere where I can meet people and promote my business? Even if it's one person. But you're not just promoting to one person. You're actually growing yourself mentally, because the more you do it, the more obsessive you are. And then, consequently, the less you think about your competitors, because it's not going to come through your mind or worry. Because you know that only the 1% that does this, only the 1% that's this focused, only 1% does take obsessive actions. And knowing that, you know that you're ahead, but don't feel indestructible. If you're in business growing obsessively for years, don't get comfortable. Don't feel indestructible, because that can also be the fall of your business your fulfillment, your happiness, and everything the business brings about. Because if you feel indestructible, you're going to start taking comfortable action. And it wasn't comfort that brought you all this fulfillment to your life. It was not comfort. Comfort does not bring any happiness or fulfillment. You have to be so attained to something, to a goal, so bad that you're working so hard that you're happy when you're working hard while you're tired. So you're tired and you're like, okay, awesome. Now I can work even harder because I'll feel even greater, because I know that I'm closer to my goals, because I know that somebody else that's in the same business as I am is also tired, and they're deciding to go to sleep. They're deciding to take a rest. And now I'm excited because I'm tired, but I'm going to destroy them. That's not how you think. You don't want to think about destroying people, but this is just an example to comparison, because when you're in this state of mind, you're not even going to think of hate. You're going to root for your friends, for other people in the same business as you are. You're going to root for their success as well. You're going to see them growing as you growing as well. You're going to see that together. And the people who is not taking necessary action, you're not going to hate on them. You're just going to not even consider it, because you're around successful people, and that's the only people you want to be around. Guys, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. Please leave a review. I hope you enjoy this. I do this because I'm actually talking to myself, and I also want to grow everything. I want to be omnipresent. So guys, please leave a review. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Go do this, what I told you. Try once. Try going to a business wherever you go this weekend. Do it and start getting that mentality to you. And if you like it, leave a 5-star review. And please tell a friend about it. Share it with any business owner that you know, anybody that's in business, even if you feel like it's your competitor. Start from here. Start from sharing this podcast if you feel like this was helpful. And when you share, you're going to see that, okay, they like it as well. You build a team as opposed to competitor mindset. So thank you very much. Again, reach out to me if you're already in this state, in this mindset already, for a long time. Reach out to me on Instagram, Andre Mezalira or Wings Mobile Detailing. You see my name, and you can DM me. Thank you very much, and it's very important that you DM me.